The corridor was dark and silent. Thrace moved through it like a shadow, his feet making no sound on the metal floor. He was one of the best killers in the galaxy. For 200 years, he had never failed a mission. Tonight would be no different. The human research station floated in space, far from any help. 15 humans worked here, studying rocks from the asteroid field. That was what the report said, but Thrace knew the real secret. These humans were building a new type of engine, one that could make ships move faster than anything the galaxy had ever seen. His employers could not allow that. Humans were new to space. They were weak. They needed to stay that way. Thrace checked his scanner. The device showed him heat signatures through the walls. Most of the humans were sleeping in their rooms. Good. Sleeping prey was easy prey. He had studied human bodies. They had no claws, no armor, no venom. They were soft and slow. Killing them would take only moments. He reached the crew quarters section. The doors were marked with numbers and names. Room 7B belonged to Park, the chief engineer. Thrace had read the file on this human many times. 32 years old, average height and weight. No weapons training, no combat experience, just a builder of machines. Perfect. Thrace's long fingers touched the door panel. They were known across 7 star systems. When someone needed an enemy removed quietly, they called the. When governments wanted rivals eliminated, they hired the. Fear was their currency, and they had earned every credit. The door opened without a sound. Thrace had disabled the station's alarms hours ago when he first came aboard. The humans trusted their technology too much. They thought locked doors and security cameras would keep them safe. They were wrong. Inside the room, the darkness was complete, but Thrace did not need light. His eyes saw heat, saw movement, saw life. On the small bed against the wall, a human shape lay still. Park was sleeping deeply, his breathing slow and steady. His face was turned toward the wall. One arm hung off the side of the bed. Thrace pulled his blade from its sheath. The weapon was made from compressed crystal, sharper than any metal. It would cut through the human's throat before the brain could register pain. Death would come in seconds. Silent, clean, professional. He took one step into the room, then another. His training made every movement perfect. He was 3 meters away, then 2. The blade rose ready. His targeting implant locked onto the soft flesh of the human's neck. All he needed was one more step. But something was wrong. Thrace had survived 2 centuries of killing because he trusted his instincts. Right now, those instincts were screaming. The human's breathing was too perfect, too controlled. Real sleep had small changes in rhythm. This human's breathing was like a machine, steady, deliberate, fake. He stopped moving. His eyes scanned the room more carefully. The bed was against the wall, yes, but the room seemed smaller than the others he had passed. The walls were darker, thicker. The human's hand hanging off the bed was positioned strangely, not relaxed, tense. Then Thrace saw it. Near the human's other hand, a data pad lay on the bed. Its screen was dark but not off. In the black surface, Thrace could see a reflection. His own reflection. And behind it, a recording of the corridor outside. A recording that showed the exact moment Thrace had entered the station 12 minutes ago. The human had been watching him the whole time. Before Thrace could react, the lights in the room blazed to life. He hissed, his eyes burning from the sudden brightness. At the same moment, he felt weight crushing down on his body. The gravity in the room had changed. It was twice as strong as normal, maybe more. His legs buckled. His arms felt like they were made of stone. But the human sat up smoothly, as if nothing had changed. Park looked at Thrace with calm, dark eyes. There was no fear in them, no surprise, just patience, like someone who had been waiting for a guest who arrived late. "I have been expecting someone," the human said. His voice was quiet and steady. He spoke in perfect language with the correct clicks and throat sounds. "Though I admit, I hoped for better." Thrace tried to move, but the gravity held him down. He was strong, but his species had evolved on a light gravity world. This crushing weight was agony. How could the human move normally? You are wondering about the gravity, said. He stood up from the bed, stretching his arms above his head like he had just woken from a good sleep. This is normal for my home planet. Actually, this is a little lighter than Earth. I lowered it a bit so we could talk. The human walked to the door and pressed a button. The door sealed shut with a heavy click. Locks engaged all around the frame. Thrace understood now. This was not a crew quarters. It was a trap, a cage built to look like a bedroom. My name is, the human continued. He pulled a chair from the corner and sat down, facing Thrace. I know your name is Thrace. I know you have killed 217 beings. I know you have never failed a contract. I also know that 3 months ago, someone paid your people a lot of money to kill everyone on this station. Thrace said nothing. His training taught him to stay silent when captured, give the enemy no information, but his mind was racing. How did this human know so much? How had they prepared for this? You are not the only one who came tonight, said. He picked up the data pad and turned it so Thrace could see the screen. It showed different views of the station. In each view, Thrace could see one of his team members, all 7 of them. And in each view, the warrior was surrounded by humans. Some were already unconscious. Others were trapped like Thrace, held down by gravity or locked in rooms. Your people are ambush hunters, said. You strike fast and hard. You rely on surprise and fear. It works very well against most species. He leaned forward in his chair. But humans are different. We are not ambush hunters. We are persistence hunters. We do not need to be faster than you. We just need to outlast you. Thrace felt something he had not felt in decades. Fear. Real, cold fear. These were supposed to be weak creatures. Soft. Helpless. But looking at its calm face, seeing the careful planning, feeling the crushing gravity that did not affect the human at all, Thrace understood the truth. They had underestimated humans, badly. Let me tell you about my species, said. His voice was still quiet, still calm, but there was steel underneath. We come from a death world, high gravity, dangerous animals, extreme weather, diseases that can kill in hours. Our planet tried to destroy us for millions of years, but we survived. We adapted. We learned. And now we are here among the stars. He stood up and walked to the wall. He pressed another button and the lights dimmed slightly. You came here thinking we were prey. You came in the dark thinking we were sleeping, unaware, helpless. Turn back to face him. But we have been watching, waiting, learning about your people, your tactics, your weaknesses. We have been ready for months. Thrace tried once more to move, but the gravity was too strong. His blade had fallen from his hand. He could barely lift his head. The question now, said, is what happens next. Your people sent you to kill us, but we do not want to kill you. We just want you to understand something very important. He walked closer until he stood directly in front of Thrace. Humans are not prey. We are not weak. We are not helpless. And anyone who thinks we are will learn the same lesson you are learning right now. The door behind opened. Another human stood there, a woman with short black hair and commander's insignia on her uniform. She looked at Thrace with the same calm expression. Bring him to the holding area, she said, and tell the others that all 7 targets are secured. No casualties on our side. As the crushing gravity finally forced Thrace to the floor, he realized the terrible truth. The galaxy thought humans were newcomers, weak, easy to control, but they were wrong, so very wrong. And Thrace had just become the first to discover it. The holding area was not what Thrace expected. There were no chains, no torture devices, no dark cells. Instead, it looked like a medical room. Clean white walls, soft lighting. 7 beds arranged in a circle, and on each bed sat one of his team members. All of them were alive. All of them looked confused and angry. 2 human guards stood by the door. They wore simple uniforms and carried no weapons that Thrace could see. But after what happened in that room, he knew better than to assume these humans were helpless. The woman who had spoken earlier entered behind him. She walked with confidence, her steps measured and sure. Thrace recognized a warrior when he saw one, even in this soft-looking form. "My name is Commander," she said to all the warriors. "I am in charge of this station. You came here to kill my crew and steal our research. You failed. Now we need to talk about why." Shen, Thrace's second-in-command, snarled from his bed. "You cannot hold us. Our people will come. They will destroy this station and everyone on it." Smiled. It was not a cruel smile, but it was not warm either. "Your people might try, but first they would need to know where you are. And right now, your communications are blocked, your ships are disabled, and your backup teams think you succeeded and left already." She walked to the center of the circle, turning slowly to look at each captured. "You see, we have been studying your tactics for months. We know how you operate, we know your patterns, we knew you would come." Thrace found his voice. The crushing gravity was gone now, returned to normal levels. "How? We left no trail. Our intel was perfect. No one knew about the contract." "That is where you are wrong," said. "We knew about the contract 3 months ago. A contact in the Rigel system sold us the information. After that, it was simple. We watched for ships in the area. We tracked your movements. We prepared." She gestured to the room around them. "This entire station is designed to counter your tactics. High-gravity zones, reinforced walls, sealed rooms, everything built to trap fast, light predators like you." Another human entered the room. It was the engineer. He carried a tray with cups of water. He set it down on a table and stepped back. "You should drink," he said. "The gravity change probably dehydrated you." None of them moved toward the water. Thrace watched it carefully, expecting poison or drugs. Notice their hesitation. "It is just water. We are not trying to poison you. If we wanted you dead, you would already be dead." He said it simply, like he was explaining how a machine worked. Continued. "Let me tell you about humans, since your intelligence files clearly got it wrong. Yes, we are new to space. Only 200 years among the stars, but we are not new to survival. We are not new to war. We are not new to fighting things that want to kill us." She pulled up a holographic display. Images appeared in the air above them. Thrace saw a blue and green planet. Earth, the human home world. "This is where we come from," said. "The gravity is strong. The weather is violent. The animals are deadly. For millions of years, everything on that planet tried to kill our ancestors. Predators with teeth and claws, diseases that spread like fire, other humans who wanted our resources. We survived all of it." The images changed, showing ancient humans hunting massive beasts. "We were not the fastest. We were not the strongest. We did not have venom or natural weapons, but we had something else. We had endurance. We could run for days without stopping. We could track prey across continents. We could plan, adapt, and work together." Thrace watched the images with growing unease. He saw humans chasing animals until the animals collapsed from exhaustion. He saw humans making tools, building traps, using fire. He saw human armies moving in perfect formation. "We learned to be persistence hunters," explained. "We did not need to kill our prey in one strike. We just needed to keep following it, keep tracking it until it could not run anymore. And then we moved in for the kill." Shen spoke again, his voice bitter. "You speak of ancient history. Your ancestors were hunters, but you are soft now. You rely on technology." Laughed at that, actually laughed. "You think we are soft. You who live on low-gravity worlds and die if you visit a heavy planet. You who need special suits to survive Earth's atmosphere. We are soft." He walked over to one of the walls and pressed his hand against it. "This station is built to human standards. The gravity, the air pressure, the temperature, all of it is comfortable for us. But for most galactic species, this place is a nightmare. Too heavy, too much oxygen, too warm." Nodded. "When humans joined the galactic community, we had to modify our ships to accommodate other species. We had to lower the gravity, adjust the air, cool the temperature. Not because we needed it, but because our allies could not survive in our standard environment." She turned off the hologram. You called us weak because we do not have claws or armor, but we do not need them. Our bodies are our weapons. We heal fast from injuries that would kill other species. We can survive extreme temperatures. We can eat almost anything. We can run for hours without rest. And most importantly, we can think, plan, and work together better than any species you have encountered. Thrace thought about the trap in its room, the careful planning, the coordination between the humans. They had captured all 7 without firing a shot, without raising an alarm. How many species could do that? There is something else you should know, said, her voice becoming harder. This is not a research station. Well, it is, but that is not all it is. Every person on this crew is a veteran of the Titan War. Thrace felt ice in his blood. The Titan War. Every species knew about it. 15 years ago, the Hive had invaded human colonies. There were warriors, bred for combat, with exoskeletons like armor and weapons built into their bodies. They had conquered 12 systems before they met humans. The war lasted 3 years. When it ended, the Hive was destroyed, completely. Not defeated, not pushed back, destroyed. Their home world was gone, their fleets were scattered. Their entire civilization collapsed. I was a Marine, said quietly. I fought on 4 different worlds. I watched my friends die. I killed more than I can count. When the war ended, I was 23 years old and I had seen more death than most beings see in a lifetime. She gestured to the other humans in the room. Was a combat engineer. He built defenses, traps, and weapons. Menu and flew fighters through battle lines. Sara coordinated communications for entire battle groups. Every single person on this station has been to war. We know what it means to fight for survival. Picked up one of the water cups and took a drink, showing them again that it was safe. We volunteered for this mission. When Commander told us about the assassination contract, we did not run. We prepared. We studied you. We learned everything about tactics, biology, and psychology, and then we waited. You were not hunting us, Thrace said slowly, understanding finally settling in. We were hunting you. No, corrected. You were hunting what you thought we were, soft scientists. Easy targets, but we are soldiers pretending to be scientists. We let you come. We let you think you had the advantage. And then we showed you the truth. She walked to the door and paused. Here is what happens next. You will stay here, alive and unharmed, until we decide what to do with you. You will eat our food, drink our water, and you will think about what I told you. Think about how badly you underestimated humans. Think about how your perfect information was wrong. One of the younger warriors spoke for the first time. Why not just kill us? We came to kill you. By galactic law, you have the right to execute us. Looked at him with something that might have been pity. Because we are not like you. We do not kill unless we have to. You came here as assassins, but you are also people. Maybe you had reasons. Maybe you were just following orders. We do not know your story yet. She opened the door. But make no mistake. If you threaten my crew again, if you try to escape, if you give me a reason to treat you as active enemies, I will not hesitate. I have killed better warriors than you. I can do it again. As she left, remained behind. He looked at the 7 with those calm, patient eyes. Drink the water, he said again, and rest. Tomorrow we will talk more about humans, about why we do things the way we do, about what it means to come from a death world. He walked to the door, then paused. Oh, and Thrace, that room where you found me, that was not even the real trap. That was just the first test. If you had actually attacked me, you would have learned what a real human defense looks like. He left them alone with the guards and the water. Slowly, carefully, Thrace reached for a cup. He brought it to his lips and drank. The water was cool and clean, not poisoned, just water, like said. Around him, his team members began to drink as well. And in the silence of that clean, white room, Thrace understood that everything his people believed about humans was dangerously, fatally wrong. 3 days had passed since the capture. Thrace sat in the holding area watching and learning. The humans fed them 3 times a day. The food was simple but good. The guards changed every 8 hours, always alert but never cruel. No one threatened them. No one hurt them. It was strange. On the fourth day, came to visit again. This time, he brought a chair and sat down facing Thrace. The other were sleeping or resting. The guards stood far enough away to give them privacy. "You have questions," said. It was not a question, he just knew. "Why are we still alive?" Thrace asked. "We came to kill you, we are your enemies, yet you treat us like guests." Thought about this for a moment. Let me tell you a story about humans. About 300 years ago, before we had space travel, we had many nations on Earth. These nations fought wars with each other, terrible wars. Millions died. He leaned back in his chair. One of these wars ended with a weapon so powerful it could destroy entire cities in seconds. 2 cities were destroyed this way. The death was horrible, but you know what happened after? Thrace said nothing. The nations that were enemies became friends. They rebuilt together. They helped each other. Within 50 years, they were the strongest allies on the planet. Smiled slightly. Humans have a saying. The best way to make a friend is to help them after you defeat them. We learned that violence creates more violence, but mercy, respect, understanding. These things can end conflicts. Your people killed Thrace pointed out. You did not show them mercy. They would not stop, said, his voice becoming harder. We tried to negotiate. We offered peace terms. They responded by attacking civilian colonies and killing children. After that, yes, we destroyed them. But we gave them every chance to choose differently. He stood and walked to the window. Outside, stars glittered in the darkness of space. You are assassins, Thrace, but you are not monsters. You were hired for a job. You followed your training. You thought you were doing what needed to be done. That is different from the who killed because they enjoyed it. Thrace considered this. What will you do with us? That depends on what you do with what you learn here, said. He turned back from the window. Commander wants you to understand something important. Humans are not your enemies. We do not want to fight thee or any other species, but we will not allow ourselves to be victims either. The door opened and entered, followed by 2 other crew members. Thrace recognized them from the files. Minu, the other engineer, and the pilot. Both had the same calm confidence as the rest of the crew. Good morning, said. Today, we are going to show you something. You are going to see what this station really is. She gestured for them to stand. Slowly, they did. Guards brought them special boots that would help them walk in the station's gravity. Once everyone was ready, led them out of the holding area. They walked through corridors that Thrace had snuck through in darkness days before. In the light, they looked different. He saw now that the walls had hidden panels. The floor had pressure sensors. Every corner had cameras and scanners. This station was built like a fortress. Stopped at a large door. Before we go in, I want to explain something. When we designed this station, we knew we might be attacked, not just by you, but by anyone who feared human technology. So we built defenses, but we also built something else. The door opened, revealing a massive room. It was full of equipment, computers, and machinery that Thrace did not recognize. But in the center stood something familiar, a jump drive. But it was 3 times larger than any jump drive Thrace had ever seen. This is the Horizon drive, said with obvious pride. It is not just faster than standard jump drives. It is completely different. Normal drives create a tunnel through space. They move you from one point to another. But the Horizon drive does something else. It moves space itself. He walked to the machine and placed his hand on it lovingly. With this, we can move entire structures, not just ships, stations, asteroids, anything. We can jump a whole moon if we have enough power. The pilot stepped forward. 3 weeks ago, we tested it. We moved this entire station 5 light years in 3 seconds. No tunnel, no distortion, just instant movement. When we arrived, the coffee in my cup was still hot. Thrace stared at the machine. The implications were terrifying. A weapon like this could change everything. Battleships could appear anywhere without warning. Defenses would be useless. The entire balance of galactic power would shift. This is why the contract was placed on you, said. The species who hired you are afraid. They see humans developing technology they do not understand. They see us growing stronger. And instead of talking to us, instead of working with us, they decided to eliminate us. She looked at each of them. But here is what they do not understand. We do not want to conquer anyone. We do not want an empire. We just want to explore, to learn, to live among the stars. This drive, we plan to share the technology with the galactic community. After we perfected it, we were going to publish the research openly. You were going to give it away? Shen asked, disbelief clear in his voice. Yes, said simply, because we believe in cooperation. We believe that when everyone is stronger, everyone is safer. A galaxy where everyone has this technology is a galaxy where war becomes too dangerous. No one can hide. No one can run. So everyone has to talk instead. Minyu walked to a console and brought up images. They showed research papers, formulas, technical diagrams. We have already shared some of our other technologies, better medical scanners, more efficient recycling systems, new farming techniques. We gave these things freely because they help everyone. But first, said, we had to prove that humans cannot be pushed around. We had to show that attacking us is a bad idea. That is why we used you as the test. She gestured around the room. You 7 are the best assassins in the galaxy. If we could capture you without killing you, without destroying our station, without even raising an alarm, then we prove something important. We prove that humans are not easy prey. Thrace finally understood. This whole thing was a message, not just to the but to every species watching. Humans could defend themselves. They were prepared. They were smart. And they were not afraid. What happens to us now? Asked quietly. Smiled. You are going home, all of you. We are going to give you back your weapons, your equipment, and your ships. We are going to send you back to your people with a message. What message? Thrace asked. The truth, said. You will tell them what you saw here. You will tell them that humans are not weak. You will tell them that we knew you were coming and we were ready. You will tell them that we could have killed you, but we chose mercy instead. She walked closer to Thrace. And you will tell them one more thing. You will tell them that if anyone tries this again, the outcome will be different. We showed you kindness because this was your first offense, but there will not be a second warning. Next time, we will respond with everything we have. Pulled up another image. It showed a ship, a human warship bigger than anything Thrace had seen. This station has a sister project, a military station. It has weapons that use the same technology as the Horizon Drive, weapons that can appear anywhere, fire, and disappear before shields can activate. We built it as a deterrent. We hope to never use it. But you will if you have to, Thrace said. Yes, said without hesitation. We will protect ourselves. We will protect our people. We will do whatever is necessary. The room was quiet for a long moment. Then spoke, her voice gentle. But we really do not want to. War is terrible. We know this better than most species. We have fought wars that killed millions. We have seen what happens when violence is the only answer. We do not want that again. Sara, the communications officer, entered the room. She had been monitoring transmissions. Commander, the cruiser is still holding position 3 light towers away. They are waiting for confirmation that the mission succeeded. Nodded. Good. Thrace, you and your team will send that confirmation. You will tell them the mission is complete and you are returning home. And then you will do exactly that. Return home. And tell everyone what happened here, Thrace finished. Exactly, said. We want the galaxy to know. Humans are here. We are strong. We are smart. We are prepared, but we are also fair. We want peace, but we will fight if we must. That is the message. As they left the drive room, Thrace looked back at the massive machine, a device that could change everything. and these humans were going to give it away to share it with everyone. What kind of species did that? What kind of warriors showed mercy to assassins sent to kill them? The kind that came from a death world, he realized. The kind that survived by adapting, by cooperating, by being smarter than their enemies. The kind that understood that making friends was better than making corpses. For 200 years, Thrace had been the hunter. Now, for the first time, he understood what it felt like to be the prey. And he understood why humans were different from every other species he had encountered. They were patient, they were kind, they were reasonable. But underneath all of that, they were absolutely terrifying. Everything changed in an instant. Sora burst into the command center, her face tight with worry. "Commander, we have a problem. The cruiser just received a distress signal." Looked up from her console. From who? From Shen. Before we captured him, he managed to activate an emergency beacon. It sent automatically when his vital signs showed extreme stress. Sora pulled up the data. The signal just reached the cruiser. They know something went wrong. Thrace, who was in the command center preparing to send the false confirmation message, felt his stomach drop. Shen had activated the backup protocol. Every assassin had one. If they were captured or killed, the beacon would alert their support ships. It was meant to call for rescue or revenge. "How long until they get here?" asked, her voice calm despite the news. "At their current speed, 3 hours, Sora said. But Commander, it is not just the cruiser. The signal also went to the 3 species who hired them. They are getting the message right now." Minyu swore quietly in Korean, gripped the edge of her console, just closed his eyes for a moment thinking. Stood and addressed the entire bridge crew. "Listen carefully. We have 3 hours before that cruiser arrives. When it gets here, it will have heavy weapons and a crew of over 200 warriors. We need to decide what we do." "We could run," said. "Use the Horizon Drive. Jump the station far away from here." "Or we could fight," Minyu added. "We have weapons, we can hold them off." "Or we could negotiate," Sora suggested. "Contact them, explain what happened, show them their people are alive and safe." Looked at each option, then she looked at Thrace. "What would your people do if we run?" Thrace knew the answer. "They would hunt you. A cruiser captain cannot allow an attack on their warriors to go unpunished. It would be seen as weakness. They would chase you across the galaxy if necessary. And if we fight, then many will die. The cruiser has plasma cannons that can cut through station shields, but it will take time. You might destroy them first, you might not. Either way, the battle would be noticed. Other ships would come. This would become a war." "And if we negotiate?" Thrace hesitated. "That is difficult. Culture values strength. If you appear weak, begging for mercy, they will attack anyway. But if you appear strong, if you show you are not afraid, they might listen." Nodded slowly. "Then we do something they will not expect, something that shows our strength without starting a war." She turned to, "How fast can you prepare the Horizon Drive for a jump?" 30 minutes, said. "But where are we jumping to?" Smiled. It was the smile of someone who just had a very dangerous idea. "We are jumping to them." The command center went silent. Everyone stared at her. "You want to jump the station directly to the cruiser?" asked. "That is insane." "No, it is perfect," said, suddenly understanding. "We appear right next to them in their weapon-blind spots. We show them we have technology they cannot match. We demonstrate power without firing a shot." "Exactly," said. "Thrace, your people respect strength. Well, we will show them strength. We will appear where they do not expect us, prove we could destroy them if we wanted, and then we will offer them a chance to talk." Shen, who had been silent until now, spoke up. "The captain will never accept this. He will see it as a threat and open fire." "That is a risk," admitted. "But I am betting that he will be too surprised to react immediately, and in that surprise we will have a few seconds to explain ourselves." She started giving orders. "Prep the drive. Minyu, Bring all defensive systems online. Plot the jump to put us 300 meters from the cruiser's starboard side. Sara, prepare an open channel message for immediate broadcast when we arrive. The crew moved instantly, each person knowing exactly what to do. Years of military training showed in their efficiency. Thrace watched them work and felt a strange respect. These humans were not panicking. They were not running or hiding. They were choosing the most aggressive, risky option because it fit their strategy. Show strength. Demand respect. Give the enemy a chance to choose peace. "What about us?" Thrace asked. "What do you want the prisoners to do?" Looked at him. "I want you on the bridge when we make contact. I want your captain to see that you are alive and unharmed. I want him to see that we treated you with dignity. Maybe that will make him pause before he attacks." 25 minutes later, the station was ready. The Horizon drive hummed with power. All defensive weapons were armed but not activated. The crew stood at their stations, calm and focused. Sat in the commander's chair. Status. Drive is ready. Power at maximum. Coordinates locked. Menu. All systems green. Shields at full strength. Weapons ready but cold. Sora. Message prepared. Broadcasting on all frequencies the moment we arrive. Jump calculated. We will appear exactly 300 meters from their starboard side, below their main weapon line. Took a deep breath. Then let us show them what humans can do. Initiate jump in 3, 2, 1, jump. The station did not shake or vibrate. There was no tunnel of light or feeling of movement. One moment they were floating in the asteroid field. The next moment they were beside a massive cruiser. Through the viewport, Thrace could see his people's ship. It was 5 times larger than the station, covered in weapons and armor, and it was close enough that he could see the markings on its hull. The cruiser's crew must have been in shock. Their sensors would have shown nothing, and then suddenly a human station appeared from nowhere, right next to them, in the one position where their heavy weapons could not target it. Sora activated the broadcast. Her voice went out in language calm and clear. "Vessel, this is Human Research Station Galileo. We are not your enemy. We have your warriors aboard. They are alive and unharmed. We request immediate communication with your captain. We have important information to share." For 10 seconds nothing happened. The cruiser did not move, did not fire. The bridge of the station was absolutely silent. Then a response came. The voice was deep and rough. "This is captain of the cruiser. You have taken our warriors. You appear beside our ship like ghosts. Explain yourself immediately or we will open fire." Stood and walked to the communications panel. She spoke clearly and firmly. "Captain, I am commander. Your warriors came to kill my crew and steal our research. We captured them without casualties. We could have killed them. We chose not to. They are my guests now, not my prisoners." "Guests?" The captain's voice was filled with disbelief and anger. "You dare call captured warriors guests?" "Come see for yourself," said. "I invite you to dock with our station. Bring 10 guards if you wish. Come aboard and see that your people are unharmed. Then we will talk about what happens next." There was a long pause. Finally, Captain spoke again. "If this is a trick, human, I will destroy your station and everyone on it." "It is not a trick," said. "It is an offer of respect between warriors. You sent your best to test us. We proved ourselves. Now we offer you the same respect we showed them. Come aboard, see the truth, then decide." Another pause. Then, "We will dock in 10 minutes. I am bringing 20 guards, not 10. "Bring 50 if it makes you feel safer," said. "We are not afraid." The channel closed, turned to her crew. "Menu, prepare docking port 3. Clear a path from there to the holding area. No weapons visible but have security ready in adjacent corridors. Sara, prepare refreshments. Coffee, water, and some of that tea that likes. Monitor their ship for any weapon charging." She looked at Thrace. "You and your team will greet the captain. You will show him that we treated you well. You will tell him the truth about what happened here." Thrace nodded. For the first time in his long career, he was about to help the people who captured him. But somehow it felt right. These humans had earned his respect. They deserved a chance to make their case. 10 minutes later, a shuttle docked with the station. The airlock opened and Captain entered with 20 armored guards. He was larger than most, with scars marking his face and arms, a veteran of many battles. Thrace and his team stood in the docking bay, waiting. When the captain saw them, his eyes widened slightly. "You are unharmed," he said, more statement than question. "Yes, Captain," Thrace replied. "We were captured, but we were treated with honor. No torture, no cruelty. They gave us food, water, medical care. They treated us as warriors, not as criminals." Captain looked around the docking bay. His guards had their weapons ready but not raised. "Where is this commander?" "I am here," said, walking into the bay with only beside her. No guards, no weapons, just two humans facing 21 armed. The captain stared at her. "You are either very brave or very foolish." "I am someone who keeps her word," said. "I told you to come aboard safely. I meant it. Now shall we talk like civilized beings, or shall we waste time posturing?" Captain's mouth moved in what might have been a smile. "I begin to understand why my warriors failed. Very well, human. Let us talk." The conference room was quiet. Captain sat at one end of the table, his 20 guards standing along the walls. Sat at the other end with only her crew behind her. Between them, Thrace and his team sat as witnesses. Had brought tea and coffee, just as ordered. The captain looked at the offered drink with suspicion, but when drank from her own cup, he picked up his and took a careful sip. "So," Captain said, setting down the cup, "you captured my best warriors. You brought your entire station across space in an instant. You appeared beside my warship before we could react, and now you serve me tea. Explain what you want, human." Leaned forward. "I want you to understand something very important. Humans are not your enemies. We are not weak prey to be hunted. We are not a threat to be eliminated. We are people just like you, trying to survive and grow among the stars." "Pretty words," the captain said. "But 3 species paid us to eliminate you. They fear your technology. They fear your potential. Why should I not complete the contract?" "Because those 3 species lied to you," said. She gestured to Sora, who activated a holographic display. Images appeared above the table. "The Empire, the Consortium, and the Republic. These are the ones who hired you. Do you know why they fear us?" The captain said nothing, so continued. "Because we refused to join their trade agreements on their terms. Because we would not give them exclusive rights to our medical technology. Because we insisted on fair treatment for human colonies in their space. Not because we are dangerous, because we would not be controlled." She pulled up more data. "They wanted to buy our medical scanners for 1/10 their value. When we refused, they tried to copy the technology illegally. We caught them and demanded compensation. That made them angry." More images. "The wanted exclusive shipping rights through human space. They wanted to charge us fees to use routes that pass near our own colonies. We said no. They did not like that." And though the captain asked, "They wanted us to give them our agricultural technology for free, while charging us triple rates for their mining equipment. When we suggested a fair exchange, they called it an insult." Leaned back. 3 species, all angry that humans would not bow down, so they decided to eliminate us quietly. Captain processed this information. "You have proof of these claims?" Sora brought up financial records, communication logs, and contract proposals. All of it was there, plain to see. The captain studied it carefully. "This does not change the contract," he said finally. "We were paid to do a job." "And you failed," said bluntly. "Your warriors failed. Your backup plan failed. And right now your warship is sitting beside a station that appeared from nowhere and could disappear just as fast. Your weapons cannot track us. Your sensors did not detect our jump. You are outmatched, Captain." The guards shifted nervously. Their captain's face remained neutral, but Thrace could see the calculation in his eyes. "So you demonstrate strength," Captain said. "You prove you can evade us, perhaps even defeat us. But what do you gain by telling me this? Why not just kill us all and be done with it?" "Because we do not want to kill you," said quietly. "We have killed enough. During the Titan War, humans killed millions of. We destroyed their civilization. We did it because we had to, because they would not stop. But it haunts us. Every one of us on this station still has nightmares about that war." He stood and walked to the viewport, looking out at the stars. "We came to space hopping to find friends. We wanted to learn, to trade, to share knowledge. Instead, we found species who saw us as threats or tools. Species who tested us, tried to use us, tried to eliminate us. We are tired of it. What my engineer is saying," added, "is that we want something different. We want respect. We want to be left alone to live our lives. And we want partners, not enemies." Captain was quiet for a long moment. "You want me to break the contract?" "I want you to report the truth," corrected. "Tell your superiors that you found a human station with advanced technology and military capabilities. Tell them that attacking humans is a bad idea. Tell them that and lied about human weakness." She stood and walked around the table, stopping a respectful distance from the captain. "And then I want you to tell them one more thing. Tell them that humans are willing to forget this incident. No revenge, no retaliation. The contract is void, your warriors go home, and we all move forward." "And if I refuse," the captain asked, "if I complete my mission?" Minu spoke up from his position. "Then we defend ourselves. We will jump away from here. Your ships cannot follow. We will contact the Galactic Council and present evidence of an unprovoked attack. That will be marked as aggressors. Trade will be restricted. Your reputation will suffer." And added, "We will share the Horizon Drive technology with every species in the galaxy except yours. You will be the only ones who cannot move like we can. Think about that tactical disadvantage, Captain." The officer's eyes widened slightly. He understood immediately. If every other species had instant jump technology except his people, that would become obsolete. Their military advantage would disappear. "You would do that?" he asked. "You would give away such powerful technology?" "We were always planning to," said. "After we perfected it. We believe that when everyone has the same weapons, war becomes too dangerous. So people talk instead. We want a galaxy where talking is the first option, not the last." Captain stood. He walked to the viewport and looked out at his ship. His guards watched him, waiting for orders. The room was tense, silent. Finally, he turned back to, "You are strange creatures, humans. You show mercy to assassins. You give away weapons that could make you the strongest species in the galaxy. You risk everything for the chance of peace." He paused. "My people would never do such things. We value strength, honor, and contracts. We do not understand this. Softness." "It is not softness," Thrace said, speaking for the first time. Everyone looked at him. "I thought it was at first, but I was wrong, Captain. This is a different kind of strength. The strength to choose mercy when you could choose violence. The strength to trust when you could fear. The strength to plan for tomorrow instead of only thinking about today." He gestured to the humans. "They captured us without killing. They treated us with respect when they could have shown cruelty. They are offering you an honorable way out of a bad situation. That is not weakness. That is wisdom." Captain looked at his best warrior for a long time. Then he looked at, "You have changed Thrace. In 4 days, you changed a warrior who served for 200 years. How?" "We showed him the truth," said simply. "We showed him that humans are not what the galaxy thinks we are. We are not soft. We are not weak. We are not naive. We are just trying to do things better than they have been done before." The captain walked back to the table. He picked up the teacup and finished the drink. "I will report what I found here. I will tell my superiors that the contract cannot be completed. I will recommend that they avoid conflict with humans." He set down the cup. "But I cannot promise what they will decide." "That is all we ask," said. "Tell the truth. Let them decide with real information instead of lies." Captain turned to leave, then paused. "One question, Commander. You said you killed millions you destroyed their civilization, yet you speak of wanting peace. How do you reconcile this?" Met his eyes. "They gave us no choice. We tried diplomacy. They killed our diplomats. We offered surrender terms. They killed our prisoners. We evacuated civilians. They hunted them down, so we did what we had to do. We became the monsters they thought we were just long enough to end the threat." Her voice became softer. "But we hated it. Every death, every destroyed ship, every burning world. We hated what we became. That is why we fight so hard for peace now, because we know what the alternative costs. We know what it does to the soul to be a killer. We do not want to be that again." The captain nodded slowly. "Perhaps that is what makes you different. Other species take pride in their victories. You take sorrow. That is interesting." He gestured to his guards. "We are leaving. Thrace, you and your team will come with us. You have completed your mission in a way. You have learned about the enemy. Now you will teach others what you learned." Thrace stood, and so did his team. They bowed slightly to and her crew, a sign of respect between warriors. As they reached the airlock, Captain stopped one more time. "Commander, you should know something. The message from Shen's beacon also went to the 3 species who hired us. They know the mission failed. They may send others." "Let them," said. "We will be ready, and maybe the next ones will be smart enough to talk instead of fight." The captain almost smiled. "I think you will get your wish, human. After I file my report, I suspect many species will want to talk with you, whether you like it or not." The left. Their shuttle undocked and returned to the cruiser. On the station's bridge, everyone watched as the massive warship powered up its engines and slowly moved away. Sora checked her monitors. "They are leaving the system, jumping out in 3, 2, 1. They are gone." The bridge crew erupted in cheers and relieved laughter. Minyu hugged, high-fived Sora. Even the usually serious allowed herself a small smile. "We did it," said. "We actually did it. We captured elite assassins, faced down a warship, and sent them home without firing a shot. We showed them who we are," added, "and they listened." Raised her hand for quiet. "Good work, everyone, but remember, this is just the beginning. Captain was right. Now that the galaxy knows what we can do, many species will want to meet us. Some to be friends, some to be enemies. We need to be ready for all of them." She looked around at her crew. "We are 15 people on one station, but we represent all of humanity. Every action we take, every word we speak, shapes how the galaxy sees our species. We have to be smart. We have to be strong. And most importantly, we have to be the best version of ourselves." Sora checked her console again. "Commander, we are getting messages already. The Empire is demanding an explanation. They are threatening sanctions. They are calling us criminals." "Let them complain," said. "We will send them the same evidence we showed Captain. Let the galaxy see who really started this. Let them judge for themselves." Walked to the viewport. Outside, the asteroid field slowly rotated, the rocks catching light from the distant sun. "Do you think they will leave us alone now?" "Some will," said. "Some will fear us, some will respect us, and some will still try to use us. But they will all know one thing. Humans are not victims. We are players in the galactic game, and we play to win." She sat in her command chair and brought up reports. "All right, people, back to work. We still have research to complete. And after we finish this Horizon drive, I want to build bigger and better things. Ships, stations, maybe even a colony ship." As the crew returned to their duties, sat down at his engineering station. He looked at the Horizon drive schematics on his screen, already thinking about improvements. Before he started working, he thought about Thrace, the warrior who came to kill him, who found him sleeping completely unaware, except had been aware, had been ready, had been waiting. That was the human way, realized, always watching, always learning, always preparing, never truly asleep even when it seemed like they were. He smiled to himself and started working. There was so much to do, so much to build, so much to discover. The galaxy thought it knew humans, but the galaxy had only seen the beginning and could not wait to show them what came next. Somewhere in deep space, aboard the cruiser, Thrace sat in his quarters. He was writing a report, documenting everything he had seen and learned. He wrote about human strength, their technology, their strategy, their mercy, and most importantly, their potential. At the end of the report, he added one final line: recommendation for High Command: do not underestimate humans. Do not fight humans. Do not ignore humans. They are the future, whether we like it or not. We must choose how we fit into that future. He sent the report and lay down on his bunk. For the first time in 200 years, Thrace felt uncertain. The galaxy was changing. Humans were changing it, and he did not know if that was good or bad. But he knew one thing for certain. When a human slept, they were never truly unaware. They were always watching, always waiting, always ready. And that made them the most dangerous species he had ever encountered.